Welcome, Pisces. This is Regina from Pacific Tarot, getting ready to do your new moon reading in Leo. The sun and moon are in Leo, and they're in close alignment with the planet Venus in its retrograde right now. So this is really reinforcing the ease, the gentleness, the comfort with which we are able now to implement the changes we've worked so hard to understand are going to improve our world and our environment. The new moon is happening today in many parts of the world, but for the west coast of the U.S., it will occur in the very early morning of Wednesday the 16th. So we're still in the dark of the moon here on the west coast, as many people around the world are experiencing the energy of the new moon. The new moon, of course, is about new beginnings, new fresh starts, initiating projects. The dark of the moon is the 3 days before the new moon, in which we are cautioned not to start anything new. So it's a great time to contemplate the energy that is coming towards us. I'm inspired to pull from the bottom of the deck, and the overall energy for you, Pisces, for this new moon in Leo is the Wheel of Fortune. I like this. The Wheel of Fortune is about an opportunity that is coming unexpectedly that will shift the opportunity you have to build something to a long-lasting, permanent place of success in your life. This is not necessarily, I'm not feeling this as the good fortune, although your ruling planet, one of your ruling planets, Jupiter, is associated with the Wheel of Fortune. So we think of that as largesse, things that are amplified, bigger than life. Here, the world is giving you an opportunity that is something you can truly build on. This is not the whims of fate, the ups and downs. In this case, this is you receiving an opportunity, seeing a parting through the clouds of something that is destined for you, something that is giving you the bedrock on which you are going to build your successful and positive future. In the position of the sun is the Lovers card, and the Lovers is representing, in this case, your ability to discriminate between the offers that are available to you. There may be one choice in particular that represents traditionally the high road or the low road. In the old original black and white Egyptian deck, this was represented as a man making the choice between a chaste woman and a loose woman. And as heterotypical as that is, this represents taking the high or the low road. You have, moreover, this is about your experience, real life experience in discriminating between opportunities that are best for you. You've gone through the time of instant gratification, picking the choice that feels good in the moment, but it dissipates quickly. Now you're looking towards your long-term growth and development. And this is indicating that you are understanding the way in which your masculine and feminine energies are married within you. You have gained this personal relationship with yourself that values your long-term growth and prosperity. And so that is something that you are focused on in whatever choices you're making. You have a number of choices before you that can range from anything, but particularly they have to do with your long-range travel, long-distance travel, interaction with an international community, finding opportunities on the larger world stage, and making choices about going or staying. In the position for your moon, we have the Two of Cups. This is quite lovely. This is really the kind of relationship that I was describing in the Lovers is mirrored here at a more fundamental spiritual level. So this is about understanding how long-term benefit feels in the long term based on your ability to connect deeply with your highest potential. This is you making friends with, connecting deeply with your higher self, understanding that you are honoring yourself through this recognition of your greater potential. This greater potential may have always been available to you, but you are now marrying this opportunity, this deeper connection between your conscious experience, your unconscious experience, and your higher consciousness, your super consciousness that is about your aspirations, about your travels, about your ability to learn and grow at the highest level to meet your potential. This can have everything to do with an important partnership with which you are undergoing this change. You're recognizing this opportunity. It can be through a partnership, but it is not specifically and solely for the purposes of bringing you together with someone else, but rather bringing you together with someone who helps you elevate your work, both of your effort. This is creating something together, building something together. And this connection, deep connection, is reflecting in all of your relationships. So you may find all of your relationships, even including those more difficult relationships, perhaps with family members, as growing as well. Experiencing your siblings or your parents or your children in a way that you have not experienced them in the past, with greater growth, greater appreciation, greater honesty, a greater willingness to connect, to agree on the things that are important to you in a relationship. In the present, we have the Nine of Swords. And you are indeed continuing to process those experiences that were difficult, that were challenging to you. You are allowing yourself to grieve whatever losses, changes, things that you perhaps regret, choices you made that didn't net you anything but pain or hurt or rejection in many cases. You're really allowing yourself to undergo that. You've spent a lot of nights worrying about this. This is deeply concerning to you. Perhaps this is a specific relationship that this is being somehow healed as a result of your really allowing yourself to experience all the emotions of hurt and pain so that you can wipe the slate clean. You can move beyond this. You've perfected this suffering in as much as you've allowed yourself to look at it, to be honest about it, and to recognize the damage that it has done to you. In this case, it feels very much like a specific relationship with a parent, a partner, a sibling, but it was a significant relationship that was not good, and maybe one that was difficult for you to admit how difficult it was. Because it was difficult and you are by nature a very giving, open, sensitive, forgiving energy, you may have suppressed the real damage this relationship did to your self-esteem, to your experience of the world, to your willingness and ability to open up. And you may be now in a position to recognize, having let go in the process of releasing all this pain, to truly connect with the part of you that is good, that has not been damaged, that understands the bigger picture and is willing to work towards your dreams. In the past, we have the Fool card. The Fool card is this beautiful adventure that you have a while ago set out on. You have a while ago released many of the experiences of challenge and invested in yourself wholeheartedly. You have understood that you have what it takes to survive anything. If you survive this, you can go through anything fully confident that whatever you need, you can manifest as needed. You don't know where this journey is going because your experience has been difficult in some regard. You have been challenged. Perhaps you had a difficult childhood or formative years of struggle, but you have rarely experienced the happy conclusion to a relationship. You've seen it, and you are now taking those steps to manifest it for yourself by building up the relationship to yourself, by using that as a model for the kind of treatment you expect in the world, by the kind of contracts that will allow you to gain stability, security, permanence, and long-lasting abundance. But you have freed yourself from these old stories, even though they continue to come up for you. That's the nature of the healing cycle, which the wheel does represent. We're constantly going round and round. Hopefully it's an upward spiral, but this is really the experience that you go back to often when you think about your significant relationships, and you long ago have consciously released this pattern and are continuing on this journey of freedom, of liberation from those old stories. In the future, the Seven of Wands. This is you establishing your expertise, knowing your zone, your area of comfort, the area of growth for you, where you can now stand up for yourself, speak up for yourself. You can set clear boundaries, and this is something that you've learned from your experiences in the past, how to set boundaries, particularly with those others, those loved ones who regularly transgress your boundaries. You're learning to identify those, to nip them in the bud, and to do it without anger, as a matter of course, as a matter of point of information, and reinforce those over and over with ease. Ultimately, this is about your voice, becoming visible, speaking your mind, clarifying what you need, defending your turf and your vision, and really knowing that you are continuing on your right path, your path of purpose, your path of mission, of service to the world. I'm going to clarify the Nine of Swords in the present with the High Priestess and the Nine of Wands. Ooh, I like this. So we have two nines here. Nines are about the completion of a cycle. You have worked hard. You have unearthed and learned from a lot of experiences that were hurtful. You've also worked hard at creating alternatives to those painful experiences, doing the work, working hard, clarifying your intentions, trying different ways to get yourself out of this funk. You have done that as a course to not give up, understanding that finally this transition you're in is the result of the work you've done to understand your past and your pain in the past, and to do whatever is within your power to undo that. This is a result of your being deeply tapped into the energy of universal love, connection, one love that is particularly owned by you, Pisces. This is where you are in the astrological spectrum. You're at the end where we all dissolve into oneness again. Everything is connected. And you're lighting up all those connections in your soul so that you are understanding exactly how to do this. This change that you have worked at, you have worked tirelessly at this change. And although you're almost there, you are battered and bruised and very aware of how close you are. Your ancestry it's all about your family, really picking out and selecting those aspects of your ancestral heritage that are leading you, that understand you, and are leading you towards your purpose and an ownership of the wisdom you've gained through the self-knowledge you have accumulated. I'm going to also clarify your future Seven of Wands with the Two of Wands and the Eight of Swords. Wow. So I've shuffled these cards, and so many similar cards show up for just about everyone. So you have resolved to move outside of your comfort zone. You no longer need to stay in the area of your initial growth or expertise. You're willing to be uncomfortable. You're moving, you know that you can't go any further at a certain level of your expertise, and you're ready to shift that into the future. You want to see what is available to you moving forward, what your future can hold, and you're willing to do the work to get there. So you're looking anxiously at what is unfamiliar to you, and you are strategizing the various methods you've already employed. You've already done a lot, worked at this pain, the suffering, understanding of harsh lessons continuously. You have never given up. You are far from giving up, but you are damaged. You are hurt by this process, and this is leaching a lot of your energy. However, your ability to understand that you're moving forward in a way that allows you to stay on your toes, to learn what you need to learn in the moment. You are anxiously accumulating information, weighing odds, looking at different ways to approach this new opportunity. There's a lot of pulls on your health right now, Pisces, and so I do see these changes you're making, this deep understanding you're gaining, the hard work you're doing at coming up with ways out of this dilemma that is wearing upon you. You spend perhaps more time than you need to worrying about or being concerned about things that haven't even occurred yet. Excuse me. So that can be countered by your willingness to stay present, stay clear about your boundaries, stay clear about your expertise and the way in which you desire, the need to break out of that, to move on, to open yourself up to the wide world of unfamiliar and new things, and to know that you have all the ability to employ the wisdom of your strategies as needed. I hope this resonates for you, Pisces. If so, please like and describe and subscribe, not describe, to my channel, Pacific Tarot. And this divine crystal has flipped for you. It is a blue calcite. And I'm just going to read the sometimes funny part of the card that describes when you want to use blue calcite. When stress is the enemy, freaking out is not a prerequisite for accomplishment. Deadlines aren't death sentences. Stress will extinguish your creativity and crush your dreams if you let it. Call on the calming, focused energy of blue calcite to remind you to put stress in its place, far away from the joy of the process and the delight of dreaming big. And the mantra is act on your dreams. I thank you so much, Pisces, for your time. Until next time, namaste.